Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here in Las Vegas, Nevada for SEMA 2015. This place, well, it didn't disappoint last year, and this year looks like it's going to be a lot more overstimulation as well. There's cars, there's trucks, there's rat rods. I got a thing for rat rods for those of you that know me, by the way. Like I said, there's so much stuff, I don't know if I could cram it all inside this lens, but I'm going to take you around. This isn't open to the public, so this is how you get to enjoy it. I'm fortunate enough to be here, you live through me. Let's go inside and see what they got. Welcome to SEMA. Oh yes. See? Everywhere you look. Period correct tires and everything. The Judge, the Pontiac Judge. One of the staples of the hot rod community. And it's sad that you come to SEMA and see something like this and be like, yeah, it's Pontiac Judge. It's just, there's too much here. There's just too freaking much. And they're all competing for your attention. They're all beautiful. They're all wonderful. I don't know what to do. I get overwhelmed. Ooh, look, spinning wheels. See? Every place I look, there's something to look at. Look at these. So cool. Roadkill. Love the way they think.
I think it's a certain dye thing.
One day he might be as good as me. See that giant vent behind the door? A vent, a door. It's American.
It says right there.
It's American. It's an eagle with pipes coming out of his head. Wow. I mean, that's some serious fabricating fun there. So, okay, it's supercharged, but it's a different type of supercharger. Driven off the crankshaft on the front. It's almost like a turbo, but it's a supercharger down there in the front.
SEMA 2015. Second year going. It is just as overwhelming as it was the first time, but strangely not so. A lot of the vendors and everything are in the same place they were the previous year. They just have different stuff that they're showing you. But anything you could ever want. I mean, if you're a car guy or girl, you will find something that strikes you here. But it's going to be hard to find because every place you look, there's something even more incredible than the next. It just piled on top of everywhere, every place you look. Saw a Mustang signed by Carroll Shelby. I saw Farm Truck and Asian again. I didn't go celebrity hunting like I did the first year. I was focused more on the show this year. These Firebirds, you know, it's too bad Pontiac doesn't exist anymore because these things would be really cool. I think there's a company that modifies existing Camaro chassis and makes these things a sparkly Porsche. And by the way, the girl, yes, she's pretty, but she's also an engineer, so smart as well. Trucks, giant engines. I talked to a lot of vendors. The cutaways of stuff. There's junk outside. There's people with weird mohawks. Anything. I mean, it's just every place you look, there's more and more to stimulate you. And I also ran into some old friends and also made some new ones, like Chris Fix.
Chris Fix.
Finally get to meet
Exactly.
the car
Finally
guy.
get to meet Chris Fix.
How awesome is this?
This is totally awesome. So this is your first trip to SEMA?
Yeah, first trip to SEMA, and I'm having a blast. There's so much to do right now. There's so much to see. It's overwhelming.
See those eyes? They can't stop moving. They're darting all over the place. It's definitely way overstimulating.
Just coming up with ideas right now. I'm like, oh, this is the next video. This is the next video. This is the next. And then I'm like, oh, well, I have like 10 videos I still need to do. So how am I going to do this?
You will do it.
I need to hire some camera crew guys, you know.
I'll rent them out to you. So what have you seen here that's like really caught your attention, or
just everything, literally everything, every corner, everywhere you look. I'm looking out, I'm looking at heads for an engine. I'm looking over here, I'm looking at seats. I'm looking over here, I'm looking at carburetors. There's so many things. It's way overwhelming for the car guy. It's nuts.
Chris, you're amazing.
I'm glad I ran into you. This is awesome.
I'm glad I ran into you too, man.
Very nice meeting you.
Very nice meeting you.
Maybe we'll do something in the future.
I would love that.
Hear that?
I would love that.
You heard that?
Yes.
Doing something in the future.
Love that. Monster truck.
Come up with something cool.
Come up with something cool.
Right in the comments.
Yeah. Somebody send me a monster truck. That's kind of gorgeous. 50, no, 60. It's a 60 Cadillac. So that's a grill. That's a Cadillac grill inlaid into the console that they bent and put that way. So if you're wondering what that is, that was the grill. When one engine just isn't enough, it's just not enough. Why not 4? Supercharged. Yeah, why not 4?
This looks like a
Chevy to Chevy. All business, some pleasure. I'd take it home. I would. I probably wouldn't drive it. I'd be afraid to like mess up the paint. That one, I would drive the snot out of it. So here's something weird about SEMA. I almost feel like a girl with well-endowed breasts, because whenever you walk into these areas, the first thing people look at is your badge. So they're looking down at your chest, and it's like, hey, buddy, eyes up here. I'm up here. So anytime you walk in any of these booths, they're looking at your badge to figure out if you're a buyer or not. If you're a buyer, they got something to say. If not, move along.
That's good.
I love rat rods. I don't know what it is about them. They're dirty, they're ugly, they're Mad Max, they're war boys, they're all that kind of stuff. If I was going to take something home, something completely impractical that looks like it would cut you if you went to drive it or sit in it or anything, this is what I like, rat rods. These lately I've been seeing more and more have diesel engines and not just gasoline engines. Used to seeing like maybe a supercharger sticking out of the top of the thing. But now, giant turbo on a diesel, and all this cool, crazy stuff like these saw blades here. And this is what I like so much about rat rods. It's like they went to the antique store and found some stuff that looked dangerous or looked like it came off of an old battleship or something like that, welded it together, and you get something that just gives off a vibe that's completely evil, like copper piping and all this faux patina. You can really tell somebody brushed this on or treated this metal in some way. Sitting on the ground, a whole bunch of tire. I love this kind of stuff because to me it's art. I mean, all these cars here are art, but this is almost anti-art. And I don't know, I just want to sit in there. You can't even see, like if you went to look out that front windshield, the only thing you're going to see is that engine that's driving you down the road. It's almost like piloting your own coffin. I just saw something really clever on this. If I'm not mistaken, these are cameras. So there's no way you can see out that back window. So having a camera to give you a rear view is pretty flippin' fantastic. And this whole steampunk look with this copper piping going to, I don't know what that does. You know what? I believe they're using this copper piping for conduit because it runs to the lights and everything over here. But then again, it could have come through in there. I'm thinking it might be wiring. But just the creativity, the detail, the, like I say, ugliness of it that makes it beautiful to me. Rat rods. I would take this home. I don't know if I'd fit in it, but I'd take it home because I'd just look at it. Maybe not wash it. Oh, I know what this one is. This is the one Gas Monkey built. They built this, and it's on airbags. So it was a wrecked Ford GT, and that's why they've named it GM GT, Gas Monkey GT. And they put it on airbags. They changed the whole suspension and everything on it, so they could go up and down like you see here. So it could be slammed on the ground, which honestly, seeing it in person is way better than television. Yeah. Okay, this is really hot.
That's the hardest thing to do.
See that engine? It's the same one that's in my Element. It's not what came in this thing to begin with. And it's kind of boosted a little bit. It's a fairly large turbo for that little bitty engine. I imagine it moves pretty fast and stays cool without the hood. Affects aerodynamics, I'm sure, but who needs windshield wipers?
They were throwing gas.
This is beautiful. Are you gonna cruise a Miracle Mile with those? Love this color. It's the Golden Empress. She does look like a big voluptuous girl, doesn't she? Ludicrous. This is his Legend. It was, I think, the first car he bought when he actually had some money. It's actually one of my favorite Acuras of all time. Let me see, is it a 5-speed? It would be really great if it's a 5-speed. No, it's an automatic. It's cool. But this is the same vintage as the Acura Vigor. This is like a 94-ish, what I'm thinking. It's got a little sparkle in the paint, but it's actually really close to the factory color. Brakes have certainly been upgraded with the Willwoods. Those are not stock tires either. But this car is like fresh as the day it was born. This is what I worked on. This was my bread and butter for many years. Engage. It's like, you know, if you got a race car and you got your ignition and everything else all set up, your fuel pump. This is like up above. It's fun to push switches though. I don't know what it is. Like,
Hey, you're right.
I love this. Look how much nitrous is in the back. It's ridiculous. And the spikes in the wheels, I love this stuff. Absolutely love it. Something about a giant purple turbo that's rather attractive, I think. Now that's a car. If you're ready to step up to the plate and you got the cash for this thing, more power to you, because there's no way you can drive this 55. Maybe in first gear. But look at the clear, or just the lines on the thing. I mean, it's absolutely insane. That dashboard full of all of its shiny, weird buttons and engine all crammed back there. And that exhaust, it all culminates into that one collector. It's custom made, each one. TIG welded together by some really talented dude. Here we have a turbo cutaway. It doesn't work when it's cut open like this.
Yeah. This one has the billet wheel on it.
Oh, it has the billet wheel.
Shiny.
Which is shiny, because these things spin really, really fast, and you don't want them to fly apart into many, many bits, because they can. So therefore, you have to use really good materials. It has to be very well balanced, nice bearings, because this thing is 10,000, 14,000, 15, 20 million frickin' RPMs is what these things end up being. But simply, exhaust goes in here, spins this one. At the same time, it's connected by a shaft that spins this one, compresses the air, and shoves it into your engine, wherever you like it to go. But yes, turbos. Cool invention. That's definitely not the stock interior. So I think this is one of those, they used the old chassis or the old body and they put it on top of a modern chassis, is what I think is happening here. So this is obviously not, it looks like a 66 or 67 Corvette, but everything up here, windshield line, interior, that's all new stuff, everything back here. So they've taken like an old body and dropped it on top of a modern chassis, and you come up with something, well, kind of neat. This here is the brand new Acura NSX, which they finally brought back after several years. It's a hybrid, so it's part gasoline and part electric. Giant carbon ceramic brakes. This is very different than the ones I used to work on. Very different. It's a whole new machine. 3.2 liter engine in the back. It's always nice driving these cars because you can hear the engine right behind your head, and of course the placement of the engine gives it a good weight distribution. Looks like it's got backup sensors, which is good because it also looks like there's no way you're going to see out of that back window, and a backup camera. So they thought about that, and I'm glad they did, because this would be an expensive car to bruise. Neat though, seeing it in the flesh. I mean, I've seen lots of pictures, but seeing it actually in real life is impressive. Very impressive. Straight up truck. No excuses. Yes, it's yellow. It has a angry bird on the side of it, but so what? It's just an honest truck. Dodge Dart with a max wedge, totally blacked out. I freaking love this thing. I love it. Digital gauge. This is a machine. Just machine. No flash, no nothing, just murdered out. I love split bumpers, and I've seen them make those engines at the factory. It's very happy there. Very happy.
I'd say yes.
Here's one of the awesome things about SEMA. The car, okay, is cool, but the color is what pops out in my mind, and the reason why I say this is cool with SEMA is because this is the color that I would paint the Vigor if the Vigor had a decent body. I would love to have it this color. And that's the thing about SEMA. I mean, people come and they show their best, they bring their best. And as a result, it inspires you to do your own projects, and that's the whole point. It's cyclical. You come in here, you see this color, and you're like, man, that would look good on my car, or you see some part that you never thought of using. There's plenty of that here. There's plenty of that here you can find at SEMA, and honestly, let's face it, that's what this is about. It's all about modifying, making it different, making it yours, making it personal, and getting ideas from people that really know what they're doing. Thank you for watching this special episode of SEMA 2015. My second year here. I've got to say, the sound of squealing tires in the background is quite fitting. You can come here 2 years in a row, and I can honestly tell you, you still won't see everything, and I'll probably come back next year to see if I can find some more stuff. But this time I got a chance to meet with some old friends, I made some new friends, my presentation went well, thanks for asking. And now it's time to wrap things up and go home, because I am flipping tired and could really use the rest. Anyway, I'm gonna close this one out. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty, and thanks for watching.